The Glove and the Lions by Leigh Hunt, 1784 to 1859. King Francis was a hearty king and loved a royal sport. And one day as his lions fought, sat looking on the court. The nobles filled the benches and the ladies in their pride, and mongst them sat the Count de Lorge, with one for whom he sighed. And truly 'twas a gallant thing to see that crowning show, Valour and love, and a king above, and the royal beasts below. Ramped and roared the lions with horrid laughing jaws. They bit, they glared, gave blows like beams, a wind went with their paws. With wallowing might and stifled roar, they rolled on one another, till all the pit with sand and mane was in a thunderous smother. The bloody foam above the bars came whisking through the air. Said Francis then, "Faith, gentlemen, we're better here than there." De Lorge's love o'erheard the king, a beauteous lively dame, with smiling lips and sharp bright eyes, which always seemed the same. She thought the Count, my lover, is brave as brave can be. He surely would do wondrous things to show his love of me. Kings, ladies, lovers, all look on, the occasion is divine. I'll drop my glove to prove his love, great glory will be mine. She dropped her glove to prove his love, then looked at him and smiled. He bowed, and in a moment leapt among the lions wild. The leap was quick, return was quick, he has regained his place. Then threw the glove, but not with love, right in the lady's face. "By God," said Francis, "rightly done," and he rose from where he sat. "No love," quoth he, "but vanity sets love a task like that." Okay, this is a narrative poem by Leigh Hunt. Leigh Hunt's one of the lesser known romantic poets. Let's see, he was part of a Hampstead-based group in London with William Hazlitt and Charles Lamb. He introduced various people to the public, and he went to Shelley's funeral in Italy. Okay, so what's this poem about? So it's about the games of love played in the royal court, and what happens if you go over the top. So King Francis was a hearty king. He was a king who enjoyed hearty, strong things, and loved a royal sport, and loved royal sport. And one day as his lions fought, sat looking on the court. So one day the court and King Francis are all looking at his lions fighting. The nobles filled the benches, and the ladies in their pride. So they're nobles and their ladies proudly sitting on the benches with the king, looking at the sport of the lions. I also like in their pride, because we say a pride of lions. And amongst them sat the Count de Lorge, with one for whom he sighed. So amongst the courtiers, there was the Count de Lorge, and he's sitting with his girlfriend, with his love. Yeah, so he's the Count de Lorge is sat with his lover for whom he sighed. Oh, she's so wonderful. So he's in love with, and truly was a gallant thing to see the crowning show. So it was a beautiful thing to see the whole scene. Valour and love, braveness and love, braveness the Count, and love his girlfriend, and a king sitting above them, and below them the royal beast. So it was a wonderful scene. Ramped and roared the lion. So a lion rampant is a lion standing up, yeah, ready to attack, and roaring the lions with horrid laughing jaws. So this is a metaphor. It's like their jaws are laughing. They bit, they glared, they looked at each other with anger. They gave blows like beams. I think here a beam is a long piece of wood that you use to support a house. A wind went with their paws. So when their paw went by, you could feel a wind. With wallowing might, with huge might, with relaxing might and stifled roar, with a roar they held back, they rolled on one another. I mean, to wallow, an animal, a pig wallows in the mud. This has got the idea of rolling around. So they're rolling around, roaring at each other and fighting, till all the pit with sand and mane was in a thunderous smother. So the lions are in a pit, in a hole, and there is sand everywhere, and mane, and it's all smothered and mixed up. Smothered is covered, so the whole pit was covered in a mixture of sand and the hair of the lion. The bloody foam above the bars came whisking through the air. So there was foam with blood that came flying through the air. Said Francis then, the king said, "Faith, gentlemen, we're better here than there." So the king said, "Well, gentlemen, I think we're much better sitting here than we are in the middle of that." De Lorge's love overheard the king, a beauteous lively dame. So the lover of De Lorge, she heard the king, and she was a beautiful dame, a beautiful lady, with smiling lips and sharp bright eyes, which always seemed the same. So her lips and her eyes are bright, and they always seem like that. She thought the Count, my lover, is brave as brave can be. So my lover, the Count, he's incredibly brave. He surely would do wondrous things to show his love of me. So I'm sure he would do anything to show his love for me. And she's thinking about setting him a test. Yeah, she's seeking confirmation of his love for her, and I think she wants everybody to see how much the Count loves her in front of the whole court. Kings, ladies, lovers, all look on. The occasion is divine. So this is the perfect moment. Everybody's looking. Yeah, I'll drop my glove to prove his love. Great glory will be mine. So I'm going to drop my glove into where the lions are, and then he will prove his love, and I will look fantastic, because this brave man would jump into the lion's den to prove how much he loves me. Yeah, she dropped her glove to prove his love, then looked at him and smiled. So she drops her glove in and looks at him and smiles. He bowed, and in a moment leaped among the lions wild. So he bows to her and jumps into the lion's cage. The leap was quick, return was quick. He has regained his place. So he was very quick. He quickly jumps in. He quickly jumps out. He comes back to where he was. He's got the glove. Then threw the glove, but not with love, right in the lady's face. So he's angry with her, yeah? And he doesn't give her the glove with love, but he throws it in her face. By God, said Francis. So the king says, by God, rightly done. And the king rose from where he sat. He stood up. And the king said, no love, quoth he, said he, but vanity sets love a task like that. And the king says, that's not a task of love, that is vanity, that the woman wants to prove how fantastic she is, and no true lover would set a task like that, and the whole thing backfires, yeah. So now, instead of looking really good, she looks really bad because she's gone too far. She's asked him to do too much. So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. The Glove and the Lions by Leigh